all in stereo. Some days I see the shore, sometimes I don't know where to go. Hear them knocking at my door. Tonight you know it's not too late. City streets are in my head. The night is calling, I can't wait. You can try me on. You can try me on. Some days I hold my breath, some days it's all in stereo. Where the water meets the land, tell me there's a master plan. I know. You can try me on. You can try me on. You can stop and stare and see the ways and never really understand emotion.
I love when I look into your eyes. It's when I realize you're my paradise. I'll never let it You're my paradise. Can you feel it in the Feeling oversaturated. We used to feel good is faded. I can't keep it together, together. Try to block it out and keep busy, but all I am is dizzy. Trying to please whoever, whoever. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Why don't you quit it? Why don't you quit it? If you're not with it, if you're not with it. Stop saying yes to shit you hate. Pay attention to your mental state. Leaves me asking the same fucking question. Why do I gotta be watered down? Hey, what gives with this permanent frown? Hey, why do I gotta be watered down? Hey, too much is getting in now, and just like drown. Do I gotta be less of me, so you can be more of you? Can we both win instead? Hey, you're at your best when I'm in my worst. Not my fault you got hit with some ugly ass curse. But you'll make it about me in time, you'll see. You've been on some major fuckery. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Why don't you quit it? Why don't you quit it? If you're not with it, if you're not with it. Stop saying yes to shit you hate. Pay attention to your mental state. Leaves me asking the same fucking question. Why do I gotta be watered down? Hey, what gives with this permanent frown? Hey, why do I gotta be watered down? Hey, too much is getting in now, and just like drown. You're at your peak while I'm wilted and weak. Used to be so many colors, still trying to recover. However you try and deny it, you're a product of your environment. All this weight you got on me isn't even mine to carry. Ooh. Why do I gotta be watered down? Hey, what gives with this permanent frown? Hey, why do I gotta be watered down? Hey, too much is getting in now, and just like drown.
I got these voices in my head telling me everything you've been saying about me. I got something for ya. They call it paranoia. Call it paranoia. Nah, no, I just get lost in it some days. No, I don't need nothing, just stay away. Cause nobody know me. Say my mama, my girl, and my homies. It's so fucking easy to get in my head. These bitches, they don't look. Started coming, they don't stop. Think I need a new look. No butterflies, but these walls can talk. So better watch yourself, better watch yourself, better watch your cause. I got these voices in my head telling me everything you've been saying about me. I got something for ya. They call it paranoia. Roll up and then blow some. So lost in the smoke, man. I'm so fucking lonesome. I need you to come home now. Far off where I've grown from. And maybe it's just my head talking, but I feel like I don't know who my feelings are. So fucking easy to get in my head. These bitches, they don't know. started coming, they don't stop. Think I need a new look. No butterflies, but these walls can talk. So better watch yourself, better watch yourself, better watch your cause. I got these voices in my head telling me everything you've been saying about me. I got something for ya. They call it paranoia. They call it paranoia. They call it paranoia. It's so fucking easy to get in my head. They call it paranoia. It's so fucking easy to get in my head. They call it paranoia. I got these voices in my head telling me everything you've been saying about me. I got something for ya. They call it paranoia. They call it paranoia. It's so fucking easy to get in my head. They call it paranoia. It's so fucking easy to get in my head. They call it paranoia. It's so fucking easy to get.
It's time to establish the meta as we kick off into the Metaball Esports Summer Brawl for the Americas region. Hello, everyone. Did you miss us? I'm Hell Monkey Man in the booth alongside one of the greatest talents that's ever seen most of the Americas. It is, in fact, the awesomeness and the shining brightness that is Bear Light. We bring you some awesome action here for the Summer Brawl series. Bear, we saw each other just a few hours ago, but how are you doing? We're about to see some good old slamming and jamming straight at the rim.
Ducks, what an intro, Hell Monkey Man, as always. I appreciate your kind words, and rightfully so. I mean, we've got a great day ahead of us for a new game that was introduced to me very recently. That's available now, by the way. Metaball, I've gotten to play a few hours. I've gotten a lot better than Hell Monkey Man is. At least that's what Chimako likes to tell me. So we'll see if that's true after this. But we've got business to handle, Hell Monkey Man. Some Metaball Summer Brawl ahead.
Yeah, there is north and south of the border, two continents really wanting to throw down, and right in the middle of it, Central America to join both North and South America. Every bit of America's coming into it for the Summer Brawl. We have a prize pool, 3,500 Metanium, and 3 awesome backpacks of bronze, silver, and gold up for grabs. But our first matchup is going to be in the semifinal round. It's going to be the Meta Goats themselves versus Snickletism. So make sure you guys get into the meta, get into some meta ball, and we're going to go straight over to the court.
And you're going to be impressed right off the bat whenever you see this go down, just with how much talent's there. If you even play like a few hours, you hop on, it feels very difficult to be able to get to the level that these players are. I expect tons of passing. I expect a lot of mechanics off the wall. It's a very similar game to what we've seen in Rocket League and Roller Champs. We've seen some fans from those two games here in the chat joining us too. So if you love those two games, you're going to love this game as well. And we're going to get into the action here in game number 1, a best of 3 here in the semifinals.
Yeah, this one is going to be interesting because we do walk into two very, I guess, chemistry-prone teams. And, of course, you already got, I think, is the likes of Blue Squad in Snickletism. They actually are all in the same outfits. So put on that chemistry, and we're going to put on some hype fun. I believe that we're in best of 3s right now at this point in the bracket. You won't see the extended best of 5s until we go deeper into the grand finals. But it's about establishing control and getting some big passes. And, of course, getting some of these power plays and power passes, and you got to be able to get those when you get to the sides of the court, work on these dashes, and they're already looking to get one, but it bounces off the rim.
Snickletism's putting on some pressure early here. You'll see Ducks up high for it, but they're already on the other side. Picnic with a good save there, just kind of hovering around that rim, ready for the shot to be able to deflect it out, and that's exactly what they were able to accomplish. They'll put Ducks back into their half of the court. They look to advance forward. That's a pass cross court as well. A little bit too hot to handle there for Ryzen. And so that'll allow a chance for Metagoats to transition back down themselves and an opportunity just off the rim.
Just on the outside of the court as well. So we establish control now for this squad as they start putting it through, and they will get the first two, bringing a highlight shot from the outside, and immediately they want to be able to work the other direction. Bear, it is so tough to be able to get it, especially off of some of these grabs. You have some of these players working for that offensive talent, or rather for skill tree, to be able to get the double grabs, but look at how they quickly pick the pocket and want to work their way back up the court again.
Yeah, I've love defense. You see four defense a little bit slacking here from Snickletism, so look to get back to it. But Metagoats, you can't say the same. Their defense is pretty hot. That's the skill tree that I like to run, so that double grab definitely comes in handy. Look at the double block we just saw between two members of Metagoats on that back end. They'll get it up to Snitch now, who tried to advance forward, but unfortunately just gave away possession there. So Ducks will try to transition it first. They had a man up high looking for maybe a fake there. Now Ryzen tries to advance to the left side, and now we'll bring it back to the top of the key. Tries to find a pass inside. It does connect, but forced directly back out from this defense. That's been pretty good here for Metagoats as they continue to hold on to this shutout with 3 minutes remaining here.
And you would think maybe double committing into some of those defensive positions, especially underneath the rim, would serve as an issue. But as long as you have your third man kind of looking for where the next pass is going to go, it's not too big of a deal. They both go for the block and they come out big with it as Metagoats still maintain and contain anything from a Snickletism. That's going to be blocked out. It's going to be sent all the way back to half court. And so far, Bear, oh, this is King Ducks' best chance, and they look to be able to drop it in, but they completely whiff off the rim.
Oh no, and now a long shot away, but Smiles was back to kind of bail them out a little bit. By the way, we're looking to update those names for you, because you are right, everybody. The names should be switched. So we'll get those updated for you. So right now, it's been Metagoats. Really bringing the meta. You got the meta in your name, you can tell that it's been holding true. Picnic took that shot, but it was a little bit low. Here's Ducks on the breakaway now. A chance for a slam dunk and an easy two to bring them back within two.
No, we haven't seen anyone go for those long shots. You really can't secure a three very well unless you have a ton of power, which means we got to see some of those power swings. And you already see King Ducks poking and prodding as Picnic maintains control. And I like being in those kind of positions. I actually run a lot of the balance tree to be able to get a lot more speed. I love extra dashes, trying to be able to get even more, deny them off the backboard, looking for maybe a layup. And that's quickly going to even us out here, Bear. A great follow-up as Snickletisms does not fade away with less than 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, they're holding strong here. And now you'll see just a transition play as Ryzen wants to get back to it and maybe even add some more, but the shot goes behind the rim. And now the defense will look to hold on from that angle. But Smiles, pocket picked, Ducks up again, tries to deny, but you can't. That's how taking it to the basket strongly can pay off. And suddenly, they've got 6 in a row. But now they've got to play some defense as well. With a minute 10, It's been a good answer, and they just need to keep on the gas pedal.
Trying to be able to get it, and they have to go kind of in reverse. That was a nice arc as they brought it from behind the rim. But you see the minute clock coming up live. There's 3 goals in a row so far here for Snickletisms. They were starting very slow. Metagoats look like they're in control, trying to be able to get some extra power as they go high, and the ball's just hanging there. No one's able to find it. It just drops in the bucket.
Yeah, sometimes the rainbow will work. You just got to put it on net, put it on target. It'll work out from time to time here, especially if you've been able to kind of take out some of the boosts from the other team. If you don't have those boosts in hand, it can be difficult to even make one of the most simple saves, and I think we saw that in that instance. So yes, Snickletism back in even. Had that early lead as well, but now we'll see if they can get to it. As now Picnic trying to turn around on this one. It does gain possession back. This one will be played high. Hail Monkey Man, 13 seconds left in game 1 of the first match that we see here in the upper semifinals. We might see overtime if nothing changes.
Oh, they were trying to send the pressure to go the other direction too. They had a full court just run. This one's going to go out into open possession, and it will be at 0-second time. If it ends up trading over exactly like it does, that means we're going to be on that 1-minute burn clock. Do we see this one go tied and be replayed? I feel like both these teams have the potential to finish it off. Picnic make sure to pick that one off as they want to get right back up the court, and some great possession. Smiles is trying to bite. It at least Turkle to be able to come to him and make it on the grab. And now it's just about fist fighting outside on the court line, and they just haven't been able to get some of these long shots. And that's actually a great pickup for Ducks.
Yeah, it just seems like that 3-line seems to be the difference maker as far as if they can put it on target or not. But that's going to be dangerous, and they do. Breakthrough. It's no other than Ducks, who had all 8 points for the team. The absolute offensive presence and an individual who will get the job done. 8-6, the final here in comeback fashion, as it'll be the Metagoats able to take game 1, and they are on a mission and on their way to match point with this best of 3.
Hit some quacks in the chat because King Ducks was absolutely flapping above the rest. Let's actually check it out, as they had 6 shots, able to get those 8 points from it. And of course, I think the majority of ball handling was also held there, as well as they have 72 MVP points there, Bears. So 1 assist from off of Smiles and Ryzen, just kind of being that glue in the midst of things. But you also had Turkle Time as well as Picnic. They were able to be really influential. This was a much more balanced effort. But King Ducks, if you're going to be the ace of your squad, I guess you're just going to go down and score. And they came up huge for their team, especially in that overtime.
And Picnic can't stand on his head, right? He needs a little bit of help here defensively. Made those 3 saves throughout the entirety of that game number 1, but could use a little bit more help back there. And a lot of that has to do with the transitions back down the court. A lot of times they got stuck there. Smiles with a couple of interceptions we saw pretty frequently. And then if you feed the duck some bread, he's going to have a great day. That's what we saw in game 1. We'll see if we can continue it, because an 8-point performance is not going to happen very frequently unless you have things just clicking the way that they were. So I anticipate an answer back here. So far, so good as far as close matchups, already getting into an overtime. So entertainment factor at the very least is at 100 right now.
Oh yeah, this is a very tight match as well, and I mean, we got to play a little bit. Sometimes these point totals can kind of skyrocket, but considering how tough it's going to be able to maintain position and possession, it feels like we're going to be having some of these more low-scoring affairs. I want to see who busts out the first 3. That honestly could be huge, especially if they're able to get some of those more influential power shots. But it feels like so much of this is driven to the rim to really establish some offensive change-ups. We had a couple times where there were some big breakaways, especially by Snickletisms. They were really playing into the looseness of, I guess, kind of mid-court positioning from Metagoats, and they took advantage of that. But I gotta see what's gonna happen into this game number 2, because whoever takes this one, well, rather, if Metagoats take this one, they're gonna be going into that winner's final.
They are. It's stakes on the line, right? It's very cutthroat in the fact that it's 5-minute games, best of 3. Let's get to it and try to get back into that top side and perhaps advance to the grand final as well once we get to that upper side bracket. But yeah, I think Snickletisms is definitely got a solid opportunity here. I did like their passing when they got on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, it seemed a little bit strange. A lot of times that full court pressure, like you were talking about, trying to get that mid-court pressure is a little bit difficult to really transition back when you haven't been playing defense very frequently. We'll see if we do that here, as we're already in game number 2 now, as 10 seconds in, looking to establish a little bit more pace on that side for Snickletisms. But Metagoats, I mean, once they got hot, they just kept pumping.
And just so you guys are aware, the names are on the correct side, the colors are not. So colors wrong, names right. And if you see the text, you're in the right place. So for our colorblind people, you don't have to worry about a thing. Big dunk to come in through, though, as that's already King Ducks adding another dunk to the dunk fest, as they got 10 points in 2 games.
Yeah, and Picnic was staying back there, just was thinking about a full court shot there, but Smiles has been doing a great job to hold all the way back in the defensive zone. Instead, Ryzen had his hands full there as he made the save, and now he'll launch it full court. But that one was well high, just over that backboard. Maybe it hits the top of it and water falls down, but it did not. And now Picnic trying to catch the other team sleeping as well, as he had an opportunity to score there too, but Snickletism still on the wrong side of a run from Metagoats that has just been extended from game number 1. But Picnic is looking for a pass now. Torkle Time going to at least give them something to think about defensively. Snitch was forced onto it as well. Now we'll try for the dunk. Also front rims it though. Ryzen was on it, and Smiles will pull it in, and they'll gain possession.
Fantastic defense by Ryzen, and Picnic has actually been one of the main handlers for the likes of Snickletism to be able to move up and down this court. And they also get their pocket picked by King Ducks, who says they are not worthy enough to stand on the throne, but maybe just the other side as they go for the fake out. They force Ryzen to jump. They are able to slip in between, and that's like a tying goal.
We were talking about feeding the ducks, and of course you can't feed the ducks without having a picnic. And so the other team able to gain and put themselves on the board here to even at 2. But Ryzen now looking to get it right back here. A long shot just past that half-court mark, but it was well high. Now Ducks will look to get it past Picnic. Does! That is such a quick transition from A to B in order to get the job done here, and Metagoat's back on top.
That is wild, and that is the 12th point, the 6th net by King Ducks, as they are keeping this team basically on their feathery shoulders, but someone else is about to finally get in the midst. I said in the mix. Ryzen making a fool out of me. Maybe they backed up to the 3-point line just to be able to prove a point, but either way, they don't take advantage of this change of hands and possession, and that's actually going to be moving the other direction. Snitch looking for the swing. What a block!
Denied on the other ends. You love it. You know, it's Metagoats trying to transition it as well. And looks like they avoided a grab. Ducks did a great job of that. Now a floater, nobody back, and it will fall. That's a 3-pointer, the first one we've seen all day, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, Hill Monkey Bad.
They were able to finally find Snickletisms out of position so just errantly and so brazenly that they could be able to take that 3 uncontested. That is 15 points. All of them for King Ducks for this Metagoat squad. That's your player to watch right now. Looking to get it between 2 defenders. They shield up, bonk it away. Great block. That one contributed over to Smiles, as that's going to join the stat board. And you know who you got to get going. It's King Ducks. They throw it full court, but Snitch is going to bring it right back to him, and they're going to go for that 3, and they get it. Holy cow.
That is a bullet from basically full court. In order to catch them sleeping, a long shot for the 3. Now chalk it up to a 2-point game. And with 1:20 left, it's exactly what they needed, because otherwise, you know, you're talking a 1:15. They're still down by 2, though. Ryzen gonna take a long shot. That went almost all the way up to the ceiling before it started to make its way back down. But nothing hurting here for this team, and Metagoat's really playing the clock here at this point. And why not add 2 more to the board as well? A big slam dunk from Smiles.
They're going to need some big point plays or a couple of quick scoring possessions, because the way that we've seen effective just ball handling out of the Metagoats, it almost seems impossible. Smiles is in a one-on-one versus Turkle Time, who's going to have to see how this goes. Nice side swing. They want to bring it up to the backboard. That's going to go over and across, but Snitch is able to pick it up, and that means they got to back up, trying to get one over the side. And we've actually seen this devolve at times into a game of volleyball as they toss it to the backboard, and it goes off rim. What a save.
That was huge, because that was on target number 1. It was water falling its way down. That would have been the backbreaker for sure. I mean, it still might be here with 21 seconds left. Oh, a steal. Picnic trying to transition it back down. He has one up top. Torkel couldn't get the handle, but Snitch will. Still up for this one. Now from the back line. What a save again from Ryzen. Pulls it back down, and that should do it. With 6 seconds left in a 4-point lead, there will be no 0-second chance as they make it 11-5 now here, and Metagoats will be advancing to the top side finals.
What a 2-0, and what a performance by Metagoats. But you know we got to give it to the mallard that wears the crown. King Ducks coming up massive through that matchup. Bear, I feel like, I mean, obviously there's a focus on getting yourself to be able to transition with your team, to be able to find yourself on the scoreboard. But I mean, when you can promote that much offense in that big of a way that fast, it feels so indomitable to be able to overcome King Ducks. And of course, all of the Metagoats, they'll be moving on to that winner's final. But Snickletisms, at times, they had moments. They actually came back in game number 1. This game, though, it felt like they were down and out for the majority.
They were opportunistic. You could tell that whenever there was, a lack of positioning, they would be able to score, and they weren't afraid to take the long shot. And eventually, it did pay off to keep it close. But close won't do it. You know what they say: close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So you're not going to be excited to go to the bottom side. But based on the talent they were able to see, I anticipate no less than a lower finals run for that team. And in the meantime, all bow down to the Duck, because King Ducks was something else here in this one, and they'll of course be advancing to that top side final. So that's nearly a guarantee. That is a guarantee they'll be in that top 3 position.
Yeah, that's very true. And that, in case you guys did not know how the prize pool was split, of the 35 metanium that you can be able to get for these squads, 2,000 goes to first place, along with the golden trophy backpack. Second place is going to get 1,000 metanium with the silver trophy backpack. And then, of course, first place is able to get 500 metanium with the bronze trophy backpack. If you want to get into some of these competitions as well, make sure to go and download Metaball. You can find it on PC, on Xbox, on PS4, and PS5. And of course, shout out to Glorious Esports as well as Bucket Play for being able to coordinate this entire tournament as it's going on. But we're going to take a short break. We're going to be going into our winners finals here in just a little bit for the Metaball Esports Summer Brawl America's region. Be back in a moment.
Feel how fast my heart would beat if you were close to me. I wanna show you, wanna let you loose inside my brain to see if you'd run or stay. I can't seem to look away. I'm hypnotized. I'm hanging on the words you say. I'm hypnotized. I can't seem to look away. I'm hypnotized.
Some days I hold my breath, some days it's all in stereo.
Sometimes I don't know where to go. Hear them knocking at my door. Tonight, you know it's not too late. City streets are in my head. The night is calling, I can't wait. You can try me on. You can try me on. Some days I hold my breath. Some days it's all in stereo. Where the water meets the land. Tell me there's a master plan. I know. You can try me on. You can try me on. You can stop and stare and see the ways and never really understand emotion.
I love when I look into your eyes. It's when I realize you're my paradise. I'll never let it You're my paradise. Can you feel it in the air? We got something extraordinary. Even when you're far away, I know you're gonna be right there.
Welcome back to the Metaball Summer Brawl. I've got a friend with me now that wasn't here before. It is Mr. Chimako09. Chimako, welcome to the stream.
Oh, thank you for saying, first name and last name, Chamaco and 09, everything together. I'm excited to be here. I've been watching some of these guys play Metaball for a while now on stream, and, it's not the same as watching them play on a tournament. It's quite different. The stakes are higher, and you can see that they are taking things seriously. The previous match we used to watch was a banger, and I'm expecting the same thing here.
Which is going to be the upper finals, and I agree with you, Chimako. We've got Metagoats. Once again, they'll be in red just like they were before, and in blue will be release ranked, which name really, is it demand or more of a command as far as trying to get that ranked release, because a lot of players are excited to see the release of that ranked feature.
It's like a release of Kraken, it's both a command and, we're going to do something about it at the same time. So we are ready to watch these guys. I think the only thing we have here, the only difference might be the homie. The homie, we're going to call him Rumster because that's the way he goes by on Twitch. And we don't want to say the full name because family friendly situation. But yeah, we got it ready. Release the rank. We haven't seen them on stream yet, but they made it all the way here. I don't think they lost any matches, if I am not mistaken. I'm going to check the bracket real quick here. But yeah, they've been, the first one was a DQ, so it doesn't matter. But they went against Thin Eyes. It was a 2-0, very convincing, and now they're going to be facing probably their biggest threat of the night, which is the Metagoats.
No doubt. And on the line is going to be advancing to the grand finals through the top side. This is a best of 3. For those of you down the line, you'll know that the grand finals will be a best of 5 with a chance for a bracket reset. So these seem cutthroat up front, Chimako, but guess what? We're running into matches that will matter a whole bunch down the line. Here, upper finals, Metagoats facing off with release ranked begins here now with game number 1.
That was a great pass and alley-oop right off the bat. And look at the defense here. That's a very nice 1v1 steal. And they were going for another pass now. But King Docs, he's finally seeing things a little bit more clear. And so he decided to step in and get the steal. Now he's shooting the ball, one way for another. And Tommy was ready to get that ball. Not going to allow it neither be a pass, neither be a shot. So we are seeing, many good things so far from release ranked. It's only a minute in the game, but so far they're looking impressive.
How quickly they were able to strike on a team that, gave up 6 early, but then, they really settled into their defense, really relied on Smiles on the backside to have that position. And then you saw this guy pop off before, and you see it again as Duck's able to get them back on the board with the equalizer here. So we're even at 2. Of course, possession will go directly back. So a quick transition, the alley-oop. Oh, it was bouncing off the rim. Looked like it had a chance to fall, but it did fall just a little bit short.
Yeah, the jump didn't work out for them in that situation, but they had the right idea. So they're trying things to make it awkward for the opposition. And Metagoats so far, they're trying to adjust. I think they are doing pretty well. They have to cover on this one. Oh, so that he actually got in. It was Ramser with a power dunk into the net, and he was able to get the 4th one for release rank.
Able to pound it through. Now Ducks will be challenged on this one. The ball will roll forward in possession of what looks like released ranked, but Ryzen just right back to it here as Metagoats, well, they give it away as well. So no team really able to gain possession after that first onslaught of scoring here. Maybe another one though. Oh, the original dunk or save was there, but it does fall through as Conscious was just a little bit stronger.
allowing too much space, and then once they have that momentum and going into the dunk, it's quite difficult to defend it because the rim is so huge. I mean, here there's a lot of areas where the attacker can actually dunk. And talking about people dunking, King Docs, he put a clinic on the first game. He was able to score most of the points for his team. From Metagoats hasn't been able to do so much right now. He goes for a good steal, trying to get everyone out of the way. Goes for the pass for Smiles. And Smiles now on the 1v2, but he gets denied.
Oh, and that was such a recovery save, too. They had to make up some ground going back towards the hoop, but they were able to get back just in time. But Smiles still on it here, tries from behind the hoop to try to get a dunk, but that was not the case. Now, long shot, but that went off the front rim. So once again, trying to perhaps make up for a little bit of the position loss, but once you get a little bit too far forward, like we just saw from Metagoats, that's risky because Release Ranked has been so good at the down court shots that you got to watch your back every single time.
Man, and we got this guy, King Dogs, that has basically been nullified here in this game. He's trying to do something. Once again, he got the ball going for the, ball control, maybe a pass, but he passed it into two defenders right away. Smiles trying to take it away from the opponents, and that was a good hustle from Smiles, but he ended up losing the ball, and ball goes back into the red corner.
Good job from Ducks here. A lot of good boost control as well. You saw just one boost and then him hesitate for just a second, knowing that you can kind of not have to wait. You have to be efficient because your boost will also control your jumps. So that's why we see them kind of settle back in and be wise and make wise choices with those. Ryzen will kind of shadow here. You see Tommy. He's got to pass up high. And Ryzen was a little bit ahead of this one, so Conscious, if they would have grabbed that, they would have a decent shot, but unfortunately, right here, it'll fall to the cornerback. Up, and Conscious, so quick from A to B. And they're up 8-2 now.
Yeah, and you see how Ryzen was trying to be ready for that one as much as he could, but at the same time, he wasn't able to stop it whatsoever. Again, the rim is so big that you got to be a very good defender to stop those. He goes for the layup, and he gets that fourth point basket for Metagoats, so they still have a chance. I mean, it's only a minute here to work it out, but they can definitely get those two baskets and maybe to get good defense. They'll be able to force an overtime.
And you can tell it
here for Pots.
Agreed. Yeah, and Conscious trying to turn around on this one too as well. Apologize for cutting you off. Here's Conscious, though, trying to get to it. Ryzen was able to read it there and get a big block. But you're right, they got to hurry. Now with 30 seconds left, and Ducks looking to transition it back down. Has Smiles on the far side, but didn't like the look, so he headed backwards with the back pass to Ryzen. Keeping this possession game, you can tell that Metagoats have been evolving over time. They've been able to make adjustments, but they're leaving the backside open yet again. But pulling it down is Ducks. Now 15 seconds left. They need this goal, and then we can talk about the 0-second chance and an opportunity. So they're in a good spot here with 8 seconds remaining. But now stolen away here, and Pound will confirm it. As with 1 second left, a bit of a showcase at the tail end of this one. It'll be released rank with a 1-0 lead here in the series.
Great steal by Rumpster, or Pandit, however you want to call him. It was a 10-4. It was a very dominant piece of work for Release Rank. They're making the statement, they really want it released, and they're doing everything they can. And you can see how everyone was so involved in the match. They had 3 shots to everyone, 4 points for Conscious, 4 points for Rumpster, only 2 for Tommy. But I mean, they all put the grains of salt, into the plate that they just cook here in the kitchen. So very well done. And Metagoats, they try to be awkward. They try to, go for those passing plays and then open up the possibilities. But I think the defense was just expecting that, and they didn't fool anyone around.
Yeah, both teams are very balanced, and, Metagoats did a good job to adjust to, they were trying to really reinvent or recreate what we saw from their opponents in that A to B quick transitional play, quick dunks. But the thing is, their defense is just as quick to react, and so you have to find quicker ways, or you can fake it, which is where that layup came in about halfway through, I believe. And the layup to the dunk to kind of throw a change up, to put it in baseball terms, to throw off the pace of the defense. And then if you do that, you're going to have many more scoring looks too. I did like the fact that they were trying to charge into the paint, aka just get in deep and not worry about the 3-ball. I think that is the best strategy against this team. But you got to keep being creative, just like we mentioned, and that way you can find more scoring opportunities and capitalize on them.
Three ball is good. It's just going to be too slow for these defenders. They're going to be able to deny it, maybe even steal it on the air. So not even block it and put it away. Just steal the ball and carry it forward. And that's one of the things that I am enjoying so much about this release rank team, that everyone can attack and everyone can be very dangerous. Not so much. I haven't seen the same from Metagoats, sadly. We know King Ducks can be very, very menacing, but I haven't seen the same from Ryzen. Smiles has its ups and downs, and it has the moments. Ryzen, I think, I mean, he is more like that third man, the third person that wants to stay back and wants to be, the balance of the team, which I understand kind of, but they're gonna need someone else to be able to carry on that ball and then try for those second chances and second opportunities. Force them.
Oh, I know it. My tree is built for defense, so I love that third man back opportunity. You make a great point, and we'll see if they can transition it from those big defensive plays to down the field. And while we wait for game 2 to crank up here too, we want to make sure that you know that it's available now. You got to get Metaball. It's downloaded here today. It's available on PC, Xbox, PS4, and PS5. So no excuses. Go ahead and download Metaball. And of course, this stream brought to you by Glorious Esports and Bucket Play. Game number 2 here of the upper finals is underway. And Conscious tries to get back down to it, down to brass tacks as they looked for that alley-oop, but the pass was just a little bit off the mark here to kick things off.
By the way, Bear, the game is a full crossplay, so you can play with anyone. Basically, I mean, any of those guys that we mentioned, any of the platforms, you can make it work. Oh, that's huge. That's big. It's gonna bounce off. I thought that there was an opportunity for it to bounce off the wall and it go back into the rim. Maybe slightly, but it was there. Oh, what a block by Ryzen! Oh, this guy who needed to be a little bit more offensive, and he says, no, man, no, Chamaco, I'm here to defend, okay? That's what I'm going to do. That was a nasty block, and then, trying to get the ball all over to the other side. It didn't work out, but the block itself was a beauty.
Yeah, rising up from the paint in order to make that save again. Oh, and then was running out of boost. So he had to basically shift that ball away from the hoop. Otherwise, he would have fell through with it. It would have been points anyway. So a wise play to just be able to keep that away from the rim. And now we'll see us settle down here. Ducks defensive side slings it underneath, but it was read very well by Tommy. But Ryzen shuts him down again. And if the Metagoats will stick around in this series, Ryzen's defense is going to be a big reason why they do it.
And Ryzen has adapted so well. He's been able to read the offense right now and do the movement that he needs to do to block the shots. That was a great attempt from Rumster, and he goes back again at it. He catches his own rebound and then goes back into it with a vengeance. That was a great play by Rumster, and now we got the lead for release rank. Tommy B on the 1v1 situation here against Ryzen. Can he do it? He's so close, but Ryzen is he's no slouch. He is very good under the basket.
The only goal that's gone in is because Ryzen was a little bit far forward because they were on the offensive side. It was a steal that caught Ryzen out of place. If Ryzen's there, a save is nearly guaranteed, which is crazy to say in this game based on how difficult it can be to keep boost in hand and make save after save, because you're going to eventually run out of boost at some point. Still manages to get it done nonetheless. And here at half court, you'll see Smiles pulls it down, looking for the 3 ball, but waited a little bit too long. Tommy was able to jump all over that one, and a great pass over to Pounds. Now we'll launch it over. Another great pass, Conscious. They go back and forth, but this time it's Smiles stepping up. Everybody wants to make a big defensive play here. But you got to wonder, when is Metagoats going to transition this down the court for some offense?
We're talking about Ryzen, and he decides to step in right now. Okay, he decides to go back a little bit. Maybe not step in the whole way. He goes for the pass now. Maybe an alley up here, but there was Conscious the one to steal the ball, and he's going for a big pass to Tommy. However, Ryzen once again on the defense. There's no one to defend that one, and it's gonna be junked by Rumster. Rumster, whenever he sees a chance where there is no Ryzen, he will take it. I mean, he's gonna make sure that one counts for them. The ball up high here, and what is gonna happen here? Okay, no, it didn't go anywhere nearby that rim.
Man, Rumster's been just taking the court by storm, by pure force. And we might see it again. This time it's Conscious, able to throw it down 6-0. And this one getting a little bit out of hand, release ranked, has all but secured an appearance into the grand finals through the top side with the way that they've been able to take over this game, unless they have an answer for it. And Ducks needed that possession to go. It just did it. Now back down and almost scored the half-court shot. And now Conscious still with the alley-oop, but that one will rim out and at least give an opportunity here for Metagoats to have another opportunity down court.
It's so bad when released rank is able to shoot and then get their own rebounds every single time. That's deadly. So you gotta be able to get the rebounds. So at last we see a dunk from King Ducks, and he's able to put the something on the boards here for Metagoats. Only 1 minute, and they were in this same position before. They were not able to score on the last minute of the game number 1. So will they be able to do so here? That was a great attempt of a shot, but it wasn't blocked. It was just a miss here. Another attempt, and this time around, Ryzen wasn't one to block it.
Ryzen has just been absolutely incredible. Needs some support here. Ducks was able to get it done in the first series. It has not been. It's been extremely quiet since. And now a great job to avoid. Good dribbling and fakes as they hit down the court. But now this one will be challenged again. They're all over him. Ryzen up top now, trying to get involved on the offensive side, but wasn't able to. It'll be shut down again, and Conscious now trying to play keep away, but Ducks was on a great challenge here in the corner, but it's stolen directly back. And even with the boost, King Ducks was not able to get the job done. But it will be Release Ranked who does get the job done. More than likely, here's Ducks trying to make a name for it, but with 3 seconds left, Conscious tries to hold on to it. Rising with 1 second left. They will say, oh, it was going to be overtime, but a little too short. So it did not count, and therefore, it'll be Release Ranked. Being able to hold off Meta at the very end of that one, Shimako, to get on the board and win and go through to the grand finals through the top side.
It's impressive how much they improved the defense from game number 1 to game number 2. And I'm talking about both teams, because you can see only 6 points for Released Rank, only 2 points as well for Metagoats. Both teams held it very tight. But I mean, if you're going to talk about a defensive MVP, you got to talk about Ryzen. You know how well he did. Just adjusting from game number 1 to game number 2, getting 5 blocks to his name. That was such an impressive thing. Basically, every single time that we didn't see a score, a goal from or a basket from Release Rank, it was because Ryzen was involved in one shape or another.
That's right. Ryzen was too busy locking down the defensive side, and I think, they played into the hands of Ducks being the offensive presence in the last series that we saw, and you got to build your strategy around that. So when Ducks was being double teamed on the offensive side and Ryzen was too busy on the defensive side, it was very difficult for Smiles tried to play that two-way play up and down the court with some offense and a little bit of support from an outlet pass from Ryzen, for example. But there just didn't seem to be enough coordination in order to really allow Ryzen to be able to let his defense shine, or it sometimes goes unnoticed, but we definitely did notice it in that losing effort. But they'll be down on the bottom side. They'll have a chance in the lower finals, so that means that we have that game to get to. We have that match to get to. Again, it'll be a best of 3 on the lower side for the lower finals. We got the bracket working its way there. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Metaball Summer Brawl.
Wanna feel how fast my heart would beat if you were close to me. I wanna show you, wanna let you loose inside my brain to see if you'd run or stay. I can't seem to look away. I'm hypnotized. I'm hanging on the words you say. I'm hypnotized. seem to look away. I'm hypnotized.
Some days I hold my breath, some days it's all in stereo. Some days I see the shore, sometimes I don't know where to go. Hear them knocking at my door, tonight you know it's not too late. City streets are in my head, the night is calling, I can't wait. You can try me on. You can try me on. Some days I hold my breath, some days it's all in stereo. Where the water meets the land, tell me there's a master plan, I know. You can try me on. You can try me on. You can stop and stare and see the ways and never really understand emotion.
Can you feel it in the air? Something extraordinary. All the stars above symbolize our love. When I look into your eyes, it's when I realize.
Welcome back to the Summer Brawl. We have lower final actions here, and actually, I'm excited because we might be having some Enya gang here. Okay, Enya once again. I thought that was only a thing for Roller Champions, but no, we got it here also on Metaball. I am with great Hell Monkey Man with me on the booth. And Hell, you saw the previous match. I think we were all impressed with Ryzen, but this is a rematch. This is a game that we had on round number 1, and it was a very close contest. I think that the only 3-game match that we have seen all night long.
Yeah, this one, this previous matchup happened, I believe, in that upper quarter to semi, and it went 2-1. It was actually Chocolate Cookies that they came in, not just from south of the border, but also through that first round matchup, and they put the likes of Metagoats through their paces. You and I got to see as well, whenever Bear was in the booth with me, Metagoats dominating, at least keeping it just a step above Snickletism whenever they were in their semifinal match. But then that script completely flipped out of the way whenever we saw that winner's final. So now Release Ranked is over in the Grands, and we get to see if Metagoats will go back for a rematch. One of these teams is going to be walking away with 500 Metanium and a bronze trophy, but they're aiming for more.
And Snickletisms didn't get a win from Chocolate Cookies whatsoever. It was a 2-0 again for Chocolate Cookies. So I'm impressed. I want to see how good these teams are. I said Enya gang because we have at least 2 players that are from Argentina here. Let me double check here so I get the right notes. I think it's Gonza and Nesquik, the 2 guys that are playing from Argentina. I don't know about Panda Cookie. I mean, he might be from Argentina as well. I'm not completely sure about that one. But yeah, a couple of Enya gang here on the court, and we saw the other guys. We have been seeing them, for a long time. I'm not getting tired by any means of them. Ryzen, we got Smiles, we got King Ducks that might be dubbed as King Dunk as well at this time around. But yes, so they are here fighting for the chance to go once more, as you said before, against a Release Rank.
King Duck's going to go absolutely quackers on this court if they have their free reign as they had in just a few streams ago. But if they cannot get beyond Enya gang, well, then it could just be the Enya show. Going over the backboard, good defense to be able to get that block early and often. They threw it to the ceiling, actually, to see if that more vertical kind of snapshot would be able to get its way through. But this one, I feel like it's going to be very tough to get through some of this more border and outer perimeter control. King Ducks has everyone to beat, is unafraid to at least try.
By the way, thank you, Chad. You mentioned Panda is a she, is a lady. So I apologize. I usually I assume that everyone is a he, and I should not be doing that. So shame on me for that one. But yeah, thank you, Chad, for correcting that statement over there. So Ryzen, once again, I'm confused because I think he can be a little bit more offensive, but at the same time, I realize what he's doing, but he's not even trying to go beyond the half court. He's staying on the back the whole time and trying to get the pass. The pass didn't work out in this time, and Panda was the one trying to dunk it, but, very well defended by Ryzen once more.
And you actually had Panda. She was actually being that kind of initial poke for the side of Chocolate Cookies, as that's something of kind of a setup you have here. You have one person that plays for ball control off the initial rip, and then you have 2 others that are trying to go on the outside and be kind of those option. King Ducks working around, but it's going to be the pocket being picked this time by Panda as she works her way up the outside rim, now trying to take on 2 and trying to give her teammates some chances. If they could be able to get kind of this power slingshot, get back over to it, they reobtain control off of the grab and see if they can be able to get some of these passes. But Smiles is really making it difficult for them.
That was a 1v1 if I ever seen one,
No.
like right there in the corner, and Panda, held herself a little bit there, and the team kept control of the ball for the longest, which is the main thing here. Keep control and don't allow your opponents to go for the shot. Now King Ducks is here. He's having the ball. He is jumping high, trying to make it as close to the net as he can, but not avail. Another opportunity, and they allow him so much space that he decided, you know what? I'm gonna shoot it. It's gonna be a free throw for me. And finally, the first score here, the first basket on the game, it goes for Metagoats.
And it came halfway through the game here, Chimako. That's how tight this has been, and a lot of just poking and prodding by both sides. And you got to see kind of a fake out shot as they got the fadeaway and backed on up. King Dux is able to come away with it, and it was off of just one swing from the power shot. Ryzen is being told by King Dux they have an option on the outside. King Dux is now going to kind of step up to the plate, see what they can do to take on Gonza. And Gonza is able to keep that ball just away from the grab because there's all of one extra boost. They're able to build it up to 2. That's going to go off of the rim, and it's going to go wide. And that's good fortune there for the side of the Meta Goat. Smiles trying to turn it into another 2-point play. What a pick of the pocket by Nesquik.
It was a very close one in that situation. And Panda has an opportunity, 1v1, but 1v1s against Ryzen don't work out. I mean, we have seen that many times so far today, and they just don't go into the net. Smiles an opportunity here, trying to get fancy. Panda with a far long shot, full court shot, and Ryzen once again, very wisely placed on the field, was able to connect with the ball and then send it back, to a safer place. Panda once more, Panda definitely that person that starts the plays for the chocolate cookies, going for the pass here. Nesquik trying to go for the alley-oop, but a little bit too slow, and Smiles was able to steal it.
We still have all of one shot to declared and found a big block. That one by Gonza as King Dux was trying to establish further reign on their throne. What a nice steal. King Dux keeps it up just as Chocolate Cookies was one to escape. At the 46-second mark, they finally get a second goal. And I mean, it feels like a mountain to climb, even with just 2. But unless Gonza's able to fake them out, they barely get it off the rim. Panda with the putback. They're well within one shot.
And you gotta go with Gonza on that play because he was the one to was able to open up the situation and then allow Panda back-to-back plays, and we have a tied game.
Panda, the battlefield merchant out there, maybe looking for a third in a row, trying to be able to get it quickly, but Smiles still has a grab on their cooldown, and they're able to get it very quickly. They toss it over. Now maybe one time, King Dux, they raise it like a balloon because they're partying above the rim. One extra possession, one last chance. Let's see what Chocolate Cookies can do.
Gonza is trying to get very fancy here, going with the many fakes. He's making everyone jump. He still has a hit, and he still has it. As soon as everyone jump, he decided, I'm going in. It's going to be mine. And we have an amazing overtime.
Chocolate Cookies shocking the world as Meta Goats unready for that final attempt. Everyone at the rim, they fake it just long enough. Now at the 60-second clock here, you're going to see if they can be able to test the defense when they're going to be jumping. It's been such a tight contest. You have to trust in your main shooters. King Dux has been really sure-handed. Everyone at the rim, but we do get another goal.
Man, oh man, I mean, he's the king. He's the king for a reason. And you can see, just making everyone go high, and that's part of the play. You gotta be able to communicate very well with your teammates and not jump everyone at the same time. We have seen it time after time. When everyone jumps, it's gonna be a very good opportunity for whoever has the ball to go and score. And that's what happened on that last play.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe, yes, every single point was scored off of King Dux. They're able to get 8 points off of 6 shots, and then Smiles 3 assists off of the 4 that ended up going in. So great job between that wombo combo, and then Ryzen was taking up the back half of the court to be able to get those 3 big saves. So even with Panda, she was doing fantastic work to just, I think they ended up having the majority of shots for their squad, but they had that late term one to be able to get it over into overtime. That was a clutch up moment there, Chimako, but it felt like everything was so tight and no one was able to kind of loosen up, start playing more for either alley-oops or even just kind of stretch the court. Everything was so man on man, and when you play that sweaty, it's tough to keep up with for the entirety of that 5 minutes.
And those were 6 points in the last minute and 20 seconds or something like that.
Wow.
So it was a very fast pace at the end. It's a shame that they couldn't pull it off and get the whole thing for themselves. But at the same time, you gotta give credit to Metagoats, because if I'm playing like that and I get scored 6 times, I'm sweating. Like my head is going places. I might not be able to pull it off at the end. And King decided, just give me the ball. I'm gonna do it. It's like the LeBron James here. Is that give it to me? I'm just gonna make it work. And he definitely, believed in his skills, and that's why they were able to get the win.
If you guys are a Nickelodeon fan of the 90s, feed the ball to Arnold, and then it's a sure thing. But we don't have 3-pointers coming out. We just have big ballers finding 2s, and maybe we'll get a long shot coming out this time around. But now it's elimination central for the side of Chocolate Cookies. They got to get this game, and then they got to string together 2 in a row. Metagoats trying to get themselves a date with released ranked in the grands in that best of 5, which has the potential for a bracket reset. Let's go to the ball handling skills of Gonza, who was able to score a crazy goal to force that overtime in the first place.
All right, one thing. Oh, watch out! Smiles doesn't have anyone to do. Oh, okay, Smiles. A bit too much sauce on that one. One thing we have seen from Chocolate Cookies is that they can adapt. They can be very well. The only series that they lost, they were able to at least win game number 2. Okay, and move forward, which was against Metagoats themselves. So they know how to adapt. They know how to do different things and then be unpredictable. However, King Docs as well, he knows very well how to be unpredictable and to play those 1v1s. The thing that is the difference maker, I think, here is Ryzen. They don't. We haven't seen from Chocolate Cookies a player who is as robust and good on the defense as we have seen at Ryzen be. It's still talking about Ryzen, how good he is. Panda says, hold my ball here. I'm gonna score regardless, Chamaco. Okay, you can think he's the best ever in defending. I'm way better at attacking.
Panda straight up saying, hold my milk, here comes the Chocolate Cookies. They are best friends with MJ, and they're going to bring that dunk slam. Oh, maybe forcing away using both of their boosts after the fact. Full court shot, but it's going to go to the back end of the backboard. A dangerous position off the glass and could have been very punishing, especially because everyone had full committed from the side of Chocolate Cookies, looking for the double fake out as they go for another power slam. But instead, I think everyone has gotten wise to Panda as she's tried to promote a ton of that extra offense. The floater, they got him to bite. King Dux is on a rampage.
Man, Nesquik has been doing great on defense, but at the same time, King Docs is just too good, too unpredictable. He's able to go for those little corners and dunk on the side where Nesquik is not defending whatsoever. Gonza going for the alley-oop. He's trying to make it happen. Oh, that was so close. And Panda didn't catch that rebound. It was all King Docs, and now King Docs, want to play very fast with Smiles. Smiles decides to go for the pass, maybe like a back pass. And it was stolen from by Panda Cookie. So, great effort here, trying to get the equalizer right now for Chocolate Cookies.
I don't mind that they're also doing some of this drop zone passing. They kind of just slam it out to the corners and see if anyone can follow up. Hitting both rims ends up going Gonza, and Panda Cookies, she's going to try him from the opposite side one more time. Oh, right off the front of the rim again, and yet not losing possession until it's kicked away. That one, I think, done by Smiles, and so they're going to have to back on up. You see Nesquik really kind of holding down backcourt positions, going for the alley-oop. They get the grab, looking to slam it home, but even with the power there, Chamaco is just a bit too inaccurate right now.
But still was a great idea. You see how 2 players are going after King, and King, sends Smiles flying and then goes for the pass. Very selfless play from a guy that we have seen doing many great individual plays, so they can also play as a team, which is a great thing to see. Smiles now trying to make everyone jump. The ball is still getting very close towards the rim. King Ducks the one to get the rebound, and he was able to dunk it once more. We got a huge lead right now for Metagoats with only 1:40 to play.
Tons of quick footwork, and that's a 3 from Gonza. They were using the side swing and quick power up to consistently keep the ball out of arm's reach from Metagoats, and they get it from distance. Now they want to go hecka vertical as they end up basically at the ceiling to try and just slam that one home to the floor. But as much as they want to wish it happy birthday, they're going to have to send this one all the way to the corner instead. Gonza keeps this team now within actually a scoring position if they can get it to finally get themselves a lead.
And Gonza is gonna keep that one on his hand on the play. He's gonna be moving around, trying to bait everyone to jump. But the Metagoats are getting a little bit smarter. They are not sending everyone to jump at the same time. So they want to be able to have someone to actually be able to go for the block at the end. Time is ticking here. It's only a 1-point difference game. So if Chocolate Cookies is able to score, that will be huge. I mean, no overtimes. It will actually give them the lead here, but they have to be able to steal the ball. And King Ducks is not willing to let it go by any means. He scores the 8th point for the team.
Trying to go full court, see if they can get it from the backboard. Maybe even look for the follow-up. They get all 3 to bite, and that's going to be a nice steal from Gonza as everyone converges on the same position. Smiles wants to keep this one true. 20 seconds coming up. That's a nice pick by King Ducks, and they honestly can play time. Panda has to back on up. They have a couple of options, but they're actually looking to follow up. Oh, and that one's going to be from downtown. Panda finds 3. We find ourselves tied late.
This is the first game that we have seen a few 3-pointers, and not only 1, but 2 by the same team. Right now, it is King Ducks. He wants to keep the ball on his hands until the end of the clock, so he can force, to get the score and not force an overtime. However, we are going to have an overtime here. Man, what a game so far. I mean, King Ducks with all the points of his team. Gonza and Panda Cookie keeping the Chocolate Cookies alive as well.
Last time, it went over, obviously, to the Meta Goats, and they want to finish it off the same way! Power shot denied! And now they send it the other direction. Ryzen's going to be on the back line. They quickly boost it up, and they're going to send it to end to end of this court. Already testing to see if the defenses will back up and release some of that pressure here early. You get a couple of good boosts. Looking for the power swing. Panda wants to be able to end this within the first half minute. Do we end this one tied? Can we find a 2, maybe even 1 from distance?
Man, those Panda crossovers are great. They are just allowing them to open up so many opportunities here. And Gonza has the ball now. He's in a 2v1 situation. He goes for a high shot, probably a pass. Panda wasn't able to collect it, and Smiles trying to move forward. It is going to be Gonza with the 6 seconds on the clock here, trying to make something happen. He goes for it. Oh, Ryzen with another block.
What? It went to every rim except in, and now there's a chance for it to change hands, and that's gonna do it for at least this sign of overtime. So we go to yet another round. Golden goal still online and welcoming to the first one that wants it. It's a one-on-one. King Ducks, are they tired of it? They're gonna send it to the other side of the court, and my goodness, Chamaco, feels like this one could have been over already. King Ducks threatening, and they can't get it past that iron wall.
That was a great steal from King Ducks, and then the shot wasn't able to complete it. Smiles going backwards, trying to find some of the teammates to help him out. He finds King Ducks here. King in the 1v1 against Panda. Panda too fast on that play. Now decides to go on the attack. Gonza's trying to reach out and help her a little bit, but he's way too far away. Smiles is able to collect that ball. 20 seconds here on the clock. It's going to be Nesquik catching that ball. Probably going to send it forward with a lot of power. He's going high. He's going for the pass. Panda catches the ball. Oh, alley-oop here.
They're trying to be able to finish it off. It was a great passing play. They just didn't get handles on the rock before the clock was done. Gonza for the win! Oh! They get it! We're going game number 3. What a play set up. They find Gonza at the 11th hour, and he goes bonkers.
How many defenders against Gonza? All of them, and he still didn't care. I mean, you can't care at that time, but I am so happy that they went for the passing plays. They were trusting each other, and they were giving themselves opportunities. Man, oh man, I mean, that was a great play from Panda to Gonza, and Nesquik, which was mostly defending the whole time, but the lack of nerves that he showed on that last play. He was on control of the ball the whole time. He did what he needed to do, fit it to the teammates, and then they were able to finish it up.
Talk about holding your nerve, forcing double overtime in this loser's final matchup to try and get a berth into the grand final. And then 102 points, by the way, to King Ducks, 8 points off of their 4 baskets to be able to get 16 in the first 2 games of this best of 3. Trying to do everything possible to force it out, but we cannot forget about the overtime forcing shot by Panda as they found it full court to be able to get that distance and send us into it. And both these teams are letting it all hang out. Released ranked, they're probably sitting there, arms crossed, like, all right, cool, show us what you got, wear yourself out. You got to force a reset anyway. But these teams are bringing it all, Chamaco, and everyone out there is, of course, having a great time. They're leaving it all on the court.
And one thing is that they are trying everything that they can do. Passing plays are great, but that's something that most teams will do. Now, the thing that's really surprises me is that they went not for one, but for 2 3-pointers, and they were able to score those. I've been, in some chats here and there trying to figure out, what's the mindset behind the players at the high level. And a lot of them say, they don't go for 3-pointers that often. It's something that doesn't happen very often. I mean, yes, you see those full court shots, but when you are like kind of closer to the rim, you don't necessarily go for those 3-pointers. I think, the way they went for it, it was just very impressive, very well done. And that's the reason why they were able to win, because otherwise, without those 3-pointers, they wouldn't have been able to go for that overtime.
Hey, you sometimes got to find a clutch Curry to save your gold medal, right? That's what's got to happen to be able to get these guys across the line. But we're going to see how that happens. Game number 3 will be forthcoming for the Metaball Esports Summer Brawl. The Americas region showcasing and strutting their stuff. And of course, remind you guys, we're going to be going and join some EMEA tomorrow for doing the exact same thing. But for right now, we're right here in the fit of it. It's north of the border versus south of the border. Can we see who will be kings of this game number 3? To be able to make it into grands? I'm ready for a hype match, Chimako. Let's get into it.
Okay, we didn't see them actually play, but they played in the first round, and they went all the way through 3 games themselves. It was the first one for Metagoats, the second one for Chocolate Cookies, and the third one for Metagoats. This time around, I mean, they're following the same trend, the same pattern, but will the same thing happen? I don't know. I mean, I can't say so far. We have seen these two go toe-to-toe. It's very, very even. It could go any ways, but we shall see. Game number 3 is on the way, and it's Nesquik now with the ball, with the steal. Has opportunities. We have seen going for the pass maybe for Gonza. Gonza's able to catch it. He's against Ryzen. He's going high. He's going super high, and that worked out for him. They got the first basket.
Gonza is 10 stories tall. They climbed at least a 10th of the Empire State Building to be able to get themselves going the same direction and trying to do the same thing. A massive block, and they send it yard to go the opposite zone. Great defense here so far by Chocolate Cookies here in game number 3. And you can tell that Nesquik, I mean, they may not end up on the stat board often, but they know how to feed the rock to the right people at the right time.
It's very calculated. He's a very cold stone player, stone cold player, not cold stone. I'm sorry, stone cold player. Yeah, that's ice cream, which is delicious too. I don't know, and Nesquik is delicious as well. I mean, it fits one to the other. Oh, watch out here! Panda is going for it. She was on top of that, but Ryzen once more was able to score. They score against Ryzen once, and he didn't like it, so he's gonna be extra careful from now on.
King Ducks trying to be able to handle it. They want to bait out Nesquik, and it really requires Gonza to help out. They've actually been able to fluidly work around the defense over and below the rim. So good support there by Gonza, who's now trying to be able to work in between both Smiles as well as King Ducks. He ends up underneath, so they're going to have to back on up. You see them working with a split. They have Panda across the court, and King Ducks working right in front of them. King Ducks has been a nuisance for most of the ball handlers on the side of Chocolate Cookies. Been able to just be in the zone that they don't want to have to throw it to, especially when they need to get it behind them for those shots. Want to get Smiles working from the perimeter, and so far, Metagoats have been shut out.
King Ducks, as you mentioned, being a nuisance and also being very unpredictable here on the offense. Not taking every single shot, going for the passes as well, and that one goes in, even with contact from the defender. The ball steals inside to go into the rim. So, I mean, this guy is super hard to read, and he's taking advantage of that every single time. Gonza going once more at it. He got it. Gonza he's riding a high. He is on top of everything now on offense. So if they can control King Ducks on the defense, I think the Cookies might have a chance, but that's easier said than done. You saw how easily he was able to dunk that ball.
This is starting to become an offense fest. The defense is slowly fading away. Gonza's treating this ball like it's a spiked flail, and they're going fully medieval on the defensive line, but that's going to end up being a grab and catch this time by King Ducks, who puts a hand up and stops the rock from dropping into the rim. Now Smiles is going to go one-on-one versus Gonza. You see Nesquik kind of underneath that rim, and what a quick takeaway. A nice grab, and they're going to quickly balloon it upwards and then make for a toss. Looking for at least a chance to set up Panda. She's got a little bit quiet, but she's going absolutely mayhem, and she's able to find the opposite side, reestablish this lead for Chocolate Cookies.
Just like, who's quiet, Hell Monkey Man? Who? No, not me. I'm here. I'm playing. You know, they're just feeding Gonza every single time that they had. And this time around, it was Gonza feeding her. But King Dox is the guy that can do everything by himself, and he is able to score one. I mean, this is guerrilla ball at this moment. You just score one, I score one. You score one, I'm gonna score one. And this the 1v3 that King Dox is showing right now. It's so impressive. It's so powerful. I mean, Smas is there as well, but whenever they're scoring, it is King Dox doing his thing by himself.
Obviously trying to be able to take just a flight for success as we approach the minute mark here. We've seen 2 overtimes, in fact, but that's a heck of a dunk. Gonza's on something right now. You know what? Being Gonza versus rather not versus Panda, but versus King Dux, you're in for an ace show. King Dux trying to bring it back, and it's just too easy. They have been good for 8 points minimum every single game, Chamaco, and that is what's keeping him and his entire team in this.
You gotta figure out how to take the ball away from King Dox before he gets on that paint. Otherwise, it's gonna be a goal, a basket, completely 100% sure. And now Panda was able to get the 10th one for Chocolate Cookies. I'm telling you, King Dox here, you know, he's going against everyone. He's going against Panda and Gonza at the same time. And it's basically impossible for them to take the ball away from him. Now, that said, Panda was able to get it. 15 seconds here. Do you go for the shot? Do you waste time? What do you do here? It seems like they were trying to go for the ball, but Smart stole that one. Going to 1v1 against Nesquik, but Nesquik says, no way here. This is not going to happen. King Dox with the final opportunity. He goes for a shot instead of a dunk. And it was a Panda the one to collect it, to get the steal, to get the block, and Panda finally put in the 12th probably. Now wait, Ryzen was able to hit it, and the ball doesn't hit the ground, so it's still fair play.
One big grab. King Dux has to be sure-handed here. They get it away from one. They're being circled around. The wagon's coming up. They try to keep it up one more time to make it all 3 defenders bite. Big block. Smiles. They get a handle on it. Looking for a vertical shot. Oh my word! We go to another overtime set. Somehow they keep Chocolate Cookies away.
And I gotta apologize because I've been talking about Smiles the whole time and not being able to do much offensively, and he does that. Now that's quick. The 1v1, he gets a block against King Dox. That was super clutch. And finally, Panda Cookie trying to go against Ryzen. The 1v1, maybe involve Gonza here, going off the wall with a power shot, but decides to not do it. Just take their time. Try to open the defense a little bit more. He's going again and the 1v1 against King Dox, but the pass is not excellent. Smazo might be able to steal it, and he does.
They may actually be just treating this first overtime just to be able to kind of settle everything down. Everyone's sweating, including the booth production and of course these players. King Dux in another 1v3, trying to be able to get him to go, and he's just circling it above the rim. It's floating aimlessly, but it's a great grab, great catch, and now Panda just gonna push all the way to their baseline. They're gonna hang on to this one. I feel like they're maybe just gonna chuck it yard, hold on to it, maybe even just kind of force it to open floor before we go into a final OT. Look how they've really become a battlefield commander, settled things down. They're working for second overtime.
That was a great opportunity for Chocolate Cookies because they had control of the ball. Now here on the kickoff, you don't know, on the jumping ball, I should say, not kickoff. You don't know what's going to happen. And yeah, definitely, it was Metaball the one handling the ball. Watch out for King Dox.
Wow.
Great defense by Nesquik once more. Smiles has it. Smiles, opportunity. Oh, the of everyone, and Smiles gets the win for the Meta Goats.
3 shields popped, but it was Smiles that locked in. They were able to grab the big dub, and they will be moving back into a vengeance match. But what a showcase here, as King Dux and the squad for Metagoats will be moving on. King Dux good for 8 and every single game that they played, but Smiles came in as the clutch performer for the squad. But shout out over to Gonza, Nesquik, and of course to Panda, as all of them put up a heck of a fight. We got 5 overtime rounds in that one, Chimako. That one felt like it was going forever and nonstop, just heart pumping moments to be able to see it. But it was a comeback that time, a team play between Smiles and King Ducks that forced that overtime in the first place.
And I gotta say, I think the difference was that the way that Smiles shoots the ball, it's not a dunk per se, but a little bit farther away. So everyone was waiting for a dunk. They got used to King Doc's way of attacking. And then when Smiles did it, it was a little bit different, a lot of power, a lot of speed, but from a different side, from a different angle, and it took everyone by surprise, not only once, but twice. That said, we have a grand finals right now. Everyone is asking, is it a best of 5? Is it a best of 3? It's gonna be a best of 5 with bracket reset if Metagoats is able to win the first one. But they're gonna have to face once more release rank, and I think release rank is ready. They are starting these teams. They are not not taking anything for granted. So they're gonna be very ready for that. But it's gonna be a match that we're gonna be watching after this short break.
Wanna feel how fast my heart would beat if you were close to me. I wanna show you, wanna let you loose inside my brain to see if you'd run or stay. I can't seem to look away. I'm hypnotized. I'm hanging on the words you say. I'm hypnotized. I can't seem to look away. I'm hypnotized.
Some days I hold my breath, some days it's all in stereo. Some days I see the shore, sometimes I don't know where to go. knocking at my door. Tonight, you know it's not too late. City streets are in my head. The night is calling, I can't wait. You can try me on. You can try me on. Some days I hold my breath, some days it's all in stereo. Where the water meets the land, tell me there's a master plan. I know. You can try me on. You can try me on. You can stop and stare and see the ways and never really understand emotion.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the grand finals of the Metaball Esports Summer Brawl Americas region. I'm still Hail Monkey Man, but I'm joined back in the booth by Bear Lights as we intend to end this fight with a grudge match between the Meta Goats, but the long-standing foe in front of them that has at least 2 lives left to live in the form of released ranked Bearlight. We're going into this matchup between these 2 squads. It is a vengeance match, and Metagoats barely survived the skin of their teeth. 5 rounds of overtime. Can they make any of that happen in this grand final best of 5?
Hello, friends from the chat, as we were hanging out and absolutely having our hearts explode from what was last series. Was absolutely insane. What a finish to really round out the top 3, first of all, but we got to determine the last 2, which is what you're talking about, Hail Monkey Man. And yes, it is a chance for vengeance, as, you know, we've seen this Metagoats team rise up since that loss in that series. We've seen them take roles. We were all about some Ducks and how Ducks was so solid on the offensive side to kick off things, and we saw Ryzen, his ability to just dominate on the defensive side. And then we got to see, oh, who's the clutch maker? Who has the ice in their veins? We got to see Smiles do exactly that. I think they're prepared for this rematch and an opportunity to reset this bracket after a best of 5 scenario here, Hail Monkey Man.
If you guys ever want to find yourself in a similar situation to this, make sure you do go and download Metaball. It's available on PC, Xbox, PS4, and PS5. And of course, shout out for the stream production brought to you by Glorious Esports as well as Bucket Play. We've got 3,500 Metanium up for grabs. The first 500 have already been split. The next 3,000, it's up to these 2 squads. We go into game number 1. Let's check them out.
We just learned that it is Risen. He's got the Riz. And a slam dunk as well from Release Ranked, as they're able to get on the board early with a slam dunk in the first 10 seconds.
King Ducks was able to get 24 points between 3 games in that very close lower final against Chocolate Cookies. They were good for 8 points per game, and you know that they have to start off with feeding the ball to them. Oh my goodness. A heck of a feed and a heck of a play on that by the likes of released ranked King Ducks in the squad. Lucky, honestly, to get away from that one.
Yeah, he was. I mean, that was just pure fortune. But Ducks is right back to you. It lays it up, tried the backboard, but it's denied again. As now trying to dash around with it. The pass down court too. Lots of room given, and the shot, another slam dunk. And a huge start from Release Rank. They don't look cold after waiting for the lower finals to develop.
Yeah, no, this team looks like they've been playing, maybe just using some of that 1v1 beta mode that you can also check out if you get into the game. And this so far, Release Ranked has been looking like they are just cool, calm, collected, and playing very clean, except for that one that gets away. I believe that was Conscious, that it looked like they kind of fell asleep at the wheel in opposite of their namesake. But a big pickup here, as you do get Rumpster that wants to be able to get it to one of his teammates. He actually has one on the offside there with Tommy, but a bit too much fancy free living, as that's a fantastic pass for Metaghost to at least get up the court. King Ducks, though, hasn't secured anything, especially as it bounces the rim.
Miles, look at the jump to it. Plenty of space. Was up top, but will bring it back down wisely, but unfortunately took a little bit too long, and Rumster was able to get to it. Now Conscious on this one too. It's a 2-on-1 breakaway. Now a pass across, but just a little bit behind the target, and so they'll have to settle it back down. Here's Rumster from the side. That would have been a 3-ball if he would have let go of it, but didn't feel comfortable enough. Saw that the backside was taken care of, that it was being defended quite well, and so they'll leave possession here. Conscious back on it though. Slam dunk opportunity, but Risen was on it, but only once, as Conscious able to gain the loose change and throw it through for another 2.
They knew that position that they had on the outside of the rim. They weren't able to go for the shield block, so instead they went for the grab, but immediately had it stolen away from them. So it gave an extra possess and an extra shot chance over to Release Ranked. So the Double R gang looking to make it even worse for the guys in the Goats, but Metagoats, they are able to at least pick one up. I've seen some very creative passing, and that one's gonna be a 3 from distance to cut this lead in half.
Yeah, Ducks saw an opportunity, and they don't miss from that range. An incredible shot from far away, but you got to get back on the defensive side because they're striking again. That one didn't go. somehow stayed out, and so it'll basically pinball around this arena before finally picked up and shot back down the court. Oh my goodness, the Risen again. And he's able to save it and gain possession right back. Tries the ceiling shot, it goes! What a response from Metagoats! After dropping down early, they've got the answer.
Taking advantage of space on the court and shutting down these more complicated and diversified passing plays. Don't have to really squeeze it too tight to the baseline. Simply make use of what they are given, and they are finding some good accuracy here in mid-game 1 right now, Bearlight. So, as we have less than 100 seconds to go, you gotta see Metagoats. They gotta get some confidence about them. They have to force a bracket reset, which means they gotta actually get this first series, and it'd be wonderful for them if they'd be able to grab this first game to really start heading with some momentum. That one's gonna be Rumster all the way to Conscious. Conscious trying to keep the rock moving. They want to take it from the top rim, but another big grab by Risen.
And Conscious, though, back on it, so good at gaining the rebounds here. And look now, as Rumster will do the same. They do not quit. After an initial shot, they are on it to gain a rebound and get a shot to fall afterwards. It is one of the biggest reasons why they have this 2-point lead here with a minute left.
Those long shots not able to be easily replicated by this Metagoat squad. So you do see them having to give chase. Tommy B bringing the thunder and what could be some long-standing pain as they go over the top. And that may be just enough. 40 seconds to go. You got to find 4 points.
Yeah, but we've seen them score so quickly in these instances as the alley-oop attempt was snuffed out here from this defense, and now it's Conscious right back on it. We'll play a little bit of keep away here, a couple of fakes, and it will do the trick. As you see, obviously that perk tree has a non-steal clause, and it allows them to transition back down for 2 more, and now a 12-6 differential here. So after a tie game, 6 in a row, you see 6 in a row on the other side as well. What an answer, and that should be just enough to keep out of arm's reach here in the last 10 seconds.
They try to toss it in the bucket, but this one is going to be thrown in the bin. 12-6, they let it get fancy, they let it get loose, but the released ranked gang never let it get away from them. Game number 1 will go to the Double R boys. And as you see, I mean, this one actually came down to Rumster actually getting the top MVP. Lots of good ball handling, but they knew where to feed it, as you have 8 shots from Conscious, but Tommy B coming up huge to be able to find those 8 points and really set their team apart.
And it seemed like a relatively quiet 8 points, even though you're leading your team by quite a bit, because of the offensive rebounds that we saw from Conscience 3 or 4 different times. Granted, everybody was ready, like I mentioned, in every aspect, but the fact that they had created so much offensive time, possession time for themselves on that side of the court just guaranteed the fact that they were going to at least give themselves the best opportunity to win that. And it got a little sketchy there. I'm not going to lie. When it got tied at 6, I was wondering, hey, right now Metagoats has a prime opportunity to be able to stick around. But that's ice in the veins, right? When you have a little bit of pressure, and now the Double R's are looking good, walking into the next one with a 1-game lead. Remember, it is that best of 5, so plenty of time here for Metagoats to get it back, but it's a matter of 1 step at a time here at this point.
Yeah, they got to keep themselves cool, calm, and clean. And so far, I mean, we've seen a slight ebb and flow, 6 in one direction, 6 in another. And then the last 6 ended up being for the side of the released ranked squad. So this is going to be a tough team to get past regardless. And I guess since you guys are kind of still with us as we're going through this grand final, make sure to do a couple things, because if you follow this channel right now and you also do so over on the Metaball Esports Twitter, you can be able to get into this giveaway as we're giving away 3 1,000 Metanium codes. So if you want to get in that action, follow this Twitch channel as well as the Twitter for Metaball Esports, and you can get yourselves some Metanium and maybe start working on that Meta Pass. But we're going to pass our way into game number 2. Let's see if those 2 R's continue to be big dubs, or if the Metagoats are able to put one on the board for themselves.
Look good, feel good. Am I right, chat? All right, let's see if you can earn some of that in-game currency as these players are on. Again, that's what they're after as well, looking for the top prize of 2,000 for themselves. But now it's Risen with a layup, but Conscious gets up just in time to deny. And now the Basically, full court shot, just a little bit off, and Risen allows a chance to recycle around. But a very dangerous opportunity right off the bat, just a little bit off for release ranked.
If you're Smiles, you want to get right in the midst of this, and look how they're actually going for a bit of those double grab spams. They definitely have that on the offensive tree, and they want to be able to get Conscious off the board if they can. Now on cooldown, you have to trust in some good burst defense as well. Risen uses it on the boost. That's going to go from all the way to the back wall, not the back board, and so it kind of falls awkwardly around and bonks around the glass. So the first minute, contesting and still stretching both these defenses to see how disciplined they are from the baseline.
Oh, alley-oop opportunity here. Now tries the backside and gets it done. What a feed from Conscience as Rumster is able to finish it through with an excellent team play on the alley-oop. And they're still just locked down. Look as their position is excellent after making such a big team play. Now they're going to try to return the favor, and Smiles just off the mark. Had an open net, but unfortunately it went wide.
That's one of those where you've been so frustrated about just getting around the defense that it's like a dog with a bumper. What do you do with it? Once you have it, they finally have a chance to be able to take a shot, and it's just too powerful. And then a giveaway, the good to go, and that's going to be a quick feed, read, and easy deed by Conscious.
So opportunistic, both on the offensive side, but also defensively. Conscious has, a conscience as far as where he is on the court. That's a couple of times in a couple of different ways that he's been able to create plays out of basically nothing. And Riz is trying to do that as well, but the front end unfortunately rings out. Smiles, the hero from last series, the overtime winner, but the ball is actually going to go right back to their own court. Ducks does have the speed and the boost available and was able to pick it up temporarily. As we tick under 3 minutes, now trying to make it a 6-0 mark. Rumster straight for the throat. Wow, another 6-0 lead.
Oh man, this is starting to feel like it's getting away from them. But the same time that we saw this last time, Bear, it ended up being a couple threes in the other direction in favor of Metagoats. So they're not out of it yet. Game number 2, so within reach, especially because you do see them forcing the defense to have to back up and cluster around, and then a mishandle. They actually got a good shield break, but then they just couldn't be able to get a single grab on the ball. What a steal by King Ducks, and they're gonna bring it within 2 immediately.
This is exactly what you talked about, Monkey. Whenever you think you have a safe lead, well, they can score goals in bunches. There's a reason why they call them the Metagoats. And right now they are hanging around with a passion. And now try to loft one long. It's a pass all the way. It finds Smiles back up for another fake and try to just lay it up at the front end of that rim. But unfortunately it was a little bit off the mark. Here's Conscience looking for the pass. Oh, great job to jump in the passing lane as Smiles able to get it down court. It's Ducks. He's locked. He's loaded. But he's also going to be shielded away as Conscience able to jump on that one defensively. Right back down as we play Pong. Back and forth down this court. Now another shot taken. It's a pass instead. It serves that, but Smiles will shut it down.
The rim on either end of this court is serving as the great fourth man for both sides, and really there's been some fortunate moments, especially Metagoats here recently, as they're trying to play catch up and get themselves tied up. Well, it's become much more of a reality or a possibility than it is a foregone conclusion against them. Less than 90 seconds, they send it to ceiling, they force the defense out of Rumster as they're going to make that catch, and there's been some fantastic passing, especially as they worked around the midcourt. Tommy B will be tracking, and this was dangerous. It's already sky high. They could just follow up and look for a layup, but they can't get the shot on target.
And Conscience still holding on this possession game, and this is what they do so well. They always seem to have this offensive presence that causes Risen to have to do this and fall back. That's a long shot. It falls. The 3-ball. The first lead in the series now here for Metagoats comes just under a minute left here in game 2.
That was by Risen. They were able to get that one from distance. Again, getting caught off guard and pants down on the other side of the court. And if you are Metagoats, you just keep up the pressure. You've been very good about making it tough to get your hands on the rock if you are released ranked. Trying to be able to move this one around. They can play for time. They can actually just bring it back to their own corner, which is going to force some of their most sure-handed shooters like Tommy B to come up to them. They can just bleed out this clock, Bear. And for the first time, we could be seeing a nice steal of a game. Especially with 20 seconds to go, it is so tough to be able to get to this ball.
Look at the handling from Ducks to be able to swing it through, and now trying for A game-ending dunk. I guess it wouldn't be game-ending because it would be within 3, but Conscious will pull it down. Now, it's a pass up high. It was challenged, but they do a good job to pull it back down. Tommy B trying to get the lead and does a slam dunk. 8-7 with just 1 second left.
They gotta keep handles on this ball. If they let this one loose, it's gonna be over. Trying to go steal for steal, shot for shot. King Ducks, the ace of the goats. Does he find it above the rim? He does! At 0-second time, game 2 goes to the Royal Mallard himself.
Quack, 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 quack. Oh my goodness, the Ducks comes up again. Just as we kicked off this string, he continues to impress on the offensive side of the ball, and Ducks does it for Metagoats, and we're dead even in this series.
2 games. It's been baller. I mean, that's very cheesy, and I understand. You can cringe all you want, but King Ducks comes up clutch when they need him the most. Risen found that 3 and creating that schema change up between just us getting some 2s and some close range shots and getting what now the Metagoats have been able to find in 2 successive games, and the long shots really counterplaying full court pressure. That's huge. And just having the ice in the veins, they showcased that they could do that whenever they played against Chocolate Cookies in that lower final, and now a taste has been given to the likes of Released Ranked, and they're gonna have to respect that. Game number 3 is up for grabs.
Yeah, no lead is safe either is what we've learned here, because yet again we saw a 6-0 lead here in just dissipate, because Metagoats not only just the offensive side of the ball, they can score in bunches is what I mentioned, but they also have a crazy name called Risen, who has been shut down, locked down defensively, and is making these huge saves that even allows this to be possible in the first place. Some of those saves are unreal. The amount of space they're able to cover, the amount of ground they're able to cover to make these saves is pretty impressive as well. He must have an extra boost that nobody else has, not even through the perk tree, because he has been just making big play after big play.
That sometimes the perks come in just the player themselves, and you know, it feels unfair because you don't get to be that guy. You have to be able to play in your own way. You know, this is actually going to be an interesting change of pace here, Bear, because in the first game, Tommy B, 8 points. Second game, wasn't able to be as impactful, and guess what? They're out. Royal MJ is in, the big 23 themselves. So subbing in the grand finals, Released Ranked is trying to bring the whole roster to the forefront.
Is this a sick game from MJ? Is he coming in with a flu? You know what I'm saying? Possibly. A big MJ getting the call here on the court. It's been a while since we've seen an MJ here to get things going. I like the change in, not because Tommy B was playing poor. I think that is incorrect. I think it's just literally a mind change. Sometimes you sub it in just to have a different crew to perhaps just ride the vibes forward. I don't think it's necessarily Tommy wasn't performing up to standards, more so as it is, hey, let's see what Royal can do and get us back on track and maybe get another win on the board. They've been doing it all tournament long, and why not just continue by making just a simple change?
You make a floor change as the coach and as a squad because you need to be able to keep fresh feet, fresh eyes, fresh hands, and maybe just a fresh idea to try and change up what has been well read now in game 2 comebacks by the Metagoats. We go to game number 3. Remember, this series is anything but done. We're going to see how maybe the floor change will affect especially the Released Ranked squad as we walk into the first minute.
Will they have this hot start that they had basically every single series from Released Ranked? Well, not so far, as Smiles will have possession here. This will be a wall opportunity. It will be sent all the length of the court over to the Ducks, who's had an opportunity from far out. It'll be a slam dunk to kick us off, and it's the first time that Metagoats will get on the board first here in this grand finals.
A change up in the roster rotation, and now change up in at least the starter kit here, as they have to use a couple of boosts to be able to get out. Risen is already going to be finding themselves in a great defensive clear. They're able to get it all the way up court, but now you see Conscious being tracked down by King Ducks, who is a nuisance for anyone trying to maintain hands on the ball, because they go right to your open spot and wait for you to have to go for that power swing and make it very difficult to really position yourself to either set up for offense or just be able to get a pass.
They're getting Royal involved early. Here's got possession, and guess who? Of course it is. It's always Riz, shutting it down defensively. Another block. And now it's back on it, though. Conscience, man, every player has their role. Conscience, another offensive rebound, as we've seen multiple times. But now Smiles will try to transition it back down court, but it's going to be stolen right away here again by Conscience.
Conscious is trying to get all the way to it, and they do find an open rim. No defense to be found on that attempt, as they've had a lot of good looks, but it's required a ton of defense to be able to match them up man on man. King Ducks gets battered, bullied, and bumped to the baseline as we go for the second minute of play about to elapse. But King Ducks, a fantastic steal. Too bad for them. It ends up going inside and out.
Conscience chased by Ducks, wasn't able to get to him though, so Conscience right back to it. Tried a pass, but it looked like a lazy one, and Ducks was standing in the way regardless. And so try to bank it off that ceiling to make it to Smiles, but it did not get that far. Instead, the ball will kind of corral here into the corner. It's Royal MJ. Looks to settle it in. The pass, a good one to Conscience. He will re-grab it here, but Ducks had an extra steal in his back pocket, and now we'll try to jump it forward, but so many good reads. You can tell that the more games that these two teams play, Hail Monkey Man, you can tell that they're starting to adapt to each other very well.
Really good flow, honestly, between them, and just good communication. Now, look at Risen actually going off the back wall. They're trying to get as much height as possible to be able to fling this ball full court distance. But there's also been a lot of just kind of dropped zone passes. Oh, what a find! Oh, can they be able to get it from the backboard? It ends up flowing in, and that's going to be Rumpster that does at least get into the net. That one looked a bit too more difficult than I thought it would be.
Yeah, it was Rumster that looks like he banked it off the rim and maybe didn't anticipate it, so it looked weird. Look at that rebound attempt. Oh, Royal almost got it done. That would have been something special. And now the ceiling shot from a distance. That one would have fallen too, but they read it. Conscience up for this one. Has a teammate if they want them, but instead will throw some fakes back. Left, right, dip, dodge, and in. 6-2 now. Here as they're able to take this substantial lead with 6 in a row.
This is the exact reason why they were making that over the top of the glass type of passing play, as they kind of went for that sort of layup, because Conscious has really dominated the aerial airspace just above it. And now Royal is getting right into the configuration for this released ranked squad. Look at Conscious already hugging the rim, and it's in. They have just been completely uncontested at times over that offensive half.
Yeah, confidence booster after that last dunk, and then you start to see the court a little bit more clearly. You can start to use your boosts and utilize this more efficiently whenever you do have that confidence from Conscience. We're seeing it. Grade A example. And now has it right back. Hey, feed the hot hand, why don't you? This one up high, too. Will bait out one, but Riz still in net. They waited long enough to allow the defense to bite for it. And unfortunately for that defense, they were able to get a hand on it, but it fell right through the hoop, so it counts.
Yeah, they were unable to, they had to use all their extra jumps just to maintain at least some position in front of Conscious, and then all they could do was fall if they didn't release the ball. King Ducks looking for a chance to maybe get his team just kind of back into this game. 8 points down with 35 seconds on the clock, Bear. This one might be all of a tossed venture. They have been able to clutch up before, but you would need some big moments, especially maybe some big point plays, and Conscious looks like they are absolutely awake, alive, and I mean, look at the handling. They're sending the ceiling. They're making it difficult to really get a hand on.
Yeah, it's been a bit of keep away here recently. Ducks wants to change that. A little bit of a finger roll, it seemed like, there on that last attempt, but it was still shut down nonetheless. They haven't been able to do a thing, and maybe it was because of this change that really got them sparked in the right way. We've learned that all four are pretty equal, but right now MJ makes an impact pretty quickly in their first game in this series, and now a 10-2 win, which will move released ranked up to 2-1 here in the series, and it was Conscience show this time around as well.
Man, 7 shots, 8 points from it, and 94 MVP points. That is a heck ton of possession. And that really, each and every single player from Release Ranked has that and then some over every single player out of Metago. So it is now championship point here for the summer brawl for the Meta Esports Americas region. If Release Ranked is gonna do it, it could be right now. They don't have to wait for any kind of bracket reset. They're just gonna try and run it through, and they're gonna keep Royal in the midst. I had seen in chat that they actually have a rotation of players, and they just got home, but they want to bring Royal over the finish line. And with the way Conscious is playing, I don't doubt what this current roster set is gonna be doing.
If Conscious is doing that, doesn't matter who your third is, right? You can rotate them back in. It's fine, and they know this too, and that's why they roll back in with the head of steam. Conscience is just popping off at the exact right time. Has been contributing since the tournament started, but to catch fire here is good timing. It's up to this Meta Goats team to really find a way to kill this momentum and get some of their own. We're looking for perhaps an offensive onslaught here that we saw in the first couple games. We'll see if they get it done as we head into game number 3 now.
I believe, well, we just did game 3, so we're going game 4, but I believe
That's correct.
that we are in a disconnect lobby. So we're gonna be talking for just a little bit. They're probably gonna have a reset, and we're gonna rejoin everyone. Conscious, I believe, is in full DC, so we'll be going into game number 4 in just a little bit, which is just enough time to remind you guys that you can be able to get into some Metonium. And how can you do that? Well, there's a giveaway that's going on from this awesome group from Glorious Esports and from Bucket Play that are putting on the stream. The giveaway is you can get into it by following this channel as well as the Meta Esports Twitter. If you're able to join and follow those, then you'll be able to get in the mix of all of it. So make sure you go and grab yourself some Metanium, as we also have Metanium up for grabs for these top 2 teams that are going for 2,000 and a golden trophy backpack for the squad that's able to take the championship win today, and then 1,000 and a silver trophy backpack, much the same. But tomorrow, you don't want to miss out, because this one started about 3 o'clock-ish Eastern. We have one that's starting 1 o'clock Eastern, 7 CET. I've been told that's Central European time, or whatever made-up time that is. But it's going to be when EMEA is going to be bringing some of their best from their region. And Bear, I mean, we've seen, you know, a little bit relative, basketball go worldwide, and the States aren't the only teams that are, you know, some of the best of it all. EMEA, I feel like they could be able to bring some heat as well from across the pond.
Oh, of course. They got some talent cooking over on that side, and the only way that you find out exactly how talented these players are is by tuning in tomorrow. So we'll see you over on that side whenever we get there. And I'm excited for some European action. It typically goes like this. You have an American style of play, and then the European style of play, and they look completely different, which is so cool to me. It's like different cultures end up with different styles, and they end up being pretty similar in skill, but it's just the creativity is something that I love. So it's not something that you want to miss. That's for sure.
That's very true. And in case you guys didn't realize sarcasm exists, I believe EU exists. I'm just saying. All right, we're going to be going into game number 4. It is a 2-1 series in favor of Released Ranked, and I feel like obviously it was a sweat fest. It was a chaotic last 1 second, last 0 second game to ender for Meta Goats to be able to even get that game to win. You can't leave it up to those kind of fateful moments there, Bear. Even if you can clutch up, I feel like they got to really establish a better point spread. And even when they scored first in game number 3, it was what, 8 in a row for Conscious thereafter? They have to get a handle on this next game.
That's right. And so when we use the term hot start, right, get out to a quick start, feel good about your start, and it's your first time scoring first in the series, it seems like it is a great start. But really, I'm talking about the entirety of the first minute to some degree, right? Get out to a good differential here, and then we can start to talk, because even though regardless of that first basket happened to fall for these Meta Goats, it changed from there on out. It seemed like it was dominant and so streaky of an offense that we saw. I mean, Rumster was putting them down, and everything started to change. And maybe it's a mental game where those streaks can be a little bit tough here, but it just means that every possession that you get, remember, when they score, you're going to gain possession right back. You have to find a way to at least gain possession and hold on to it and create a little bit more offensive time, so that way you can find some more success in translating that success into points, of course.
That's very true. And we're going to be going into our next game here. Now, as we end up going and getting everyone all situated, the lobby has been put back up. So we're going to be going into it very soon. And of course, if you want to join into some more Metaball, me and Bear, we were able to get into some lobbies and I was hitting some threes.
Oh, yeah.
They were very slow and they were very on target. And then we found out that even bots can stop my shots. But if you want to be able to do that, download it for PC as well as Xbox, PS4, and PS5. And you can get yourself out onto the court and be as high flying as these awesome players have been today. And of course, shout out to all the teams that were able to play. Maybe didn't make it the full tournament distance. Hey, maybe we'll be able to see more of these seasonal brawls here in the near future. So shout out over to Glorious Esports as well as Bucket Play for being able to put it in. So, Bear, you need to cut the chaff here. Do we see a game 5? Does the Double R gang of Release Ranked, do they simply put it away?
I want you all that are in chat, and I want you, Hail Monkey Man, to look at me right now. No. It's going to be over after this one. All right, I think it's going to be a 3-1 here at the tail end of it. I love Metagoats. I truly do. I think Risen is one of the best defensive players, if not the best, in the game. He is outstanding. Dux has an offensive presence, but it hasn't been enough. And if they are not consistent enough to play against this Release Ring team, I think it ends here, honestly.
All right. Well, everyone is here to now prove Bear wrong. I'm actually on the same camp as Bear, but I digress. Game number 4, live, loud. We go into a raucous crowd, and we get to see, can the goats come back, or is it simply put away in this 4th iteration?
Let's find out. I honestly hope they prove me wrong. The more Metaball, the better. So we'll see. But I seriously, let's check it out. Right now, Ducks trying to get off to that hot start. An opportunity there, but unfortunately, it looked like the ball got a little loose. Not sure if it was challenge or just maybe a mishap there. But Smiles trying to challenge here as now they look for a pass up high, but Ducks in the passing lane able to intercept that one before anything else got going.
I love the creativity out of, I believe that was Royal that was going for that top of the key pass, because they'd actually thrown it off of the 45 and then forced it to come out off of that arc to go just around the 3-point line. But like you said, King Ducks had put that pressure out, and I feel like King Ducks is going to be much more active in communicating that to his team in the first place. Smiles wanted to feed the rock to him, and now they play with a man advantage up the court. Want to be able to feed it over, and everyone that was talking about Riz, the best defense in the entire game, you must be joking. We'll eat this one as 3 points.
Yeah, 3 ball. And now Smiles going to try to add to this one too. Plenty of room. Conscience almost missed that one. Wasn't able to grab as that perk coming in handy here to try to avoid it. But unfortunately, they weren't able to score on that side. But Smiles, that's 2 interceptions in a row. 2 steals back to back. But Conscience will do the same. Now pulls it high. Now it's got a teammate in support as well. But the pass came a little bit too late there as Royal had fallen back to the ground before anything else was able to develop there too. Now Ducks will try to settle it. Ooh. Being pestered by 2 and somehow got through that. Not sure how they got through the traffic here, but then eventually it'll be Royal to shut him down.
You're going to need 3 players just to kind of hug and hold hands all the way around King Ducks for him to really be slowed down. Even so, not going to happen. What a defensive play. Fantastic shield bonk. Smiles is going to be the one under the rim, and they're trying to be able to pester into the way of Rumster, who has a chance just outside. Maybe to get the layup. Not going to happen either way. It is an iron wall of pure defense for the side of Metagoats. Conscious, though, trying to be the ace up the sleeve, and they feed it again with a chance. Full power! And that dunk goes through for Royal.
Looking like the real MJ. They are the real MJ of Metaball as they slam that one home. And Ducks will look to settle it. I like this. Your opponent's starting to gain a little bit of momentum. Why not pull it down? Take your time, and there's going to be 3 there. So denied right off the bat. And Royal will pull it down yet again. Long shot off the ceiling. Tried to land it from all the way across court. But it was not to be as it fell just a little bit over. Now it's Smiles. Room to work with. Being shut down by Royal from the backside, but Smiles still able to try to get one off. That's before Rumster able to deny and throw it back court. But the thing is, Riz was right there. Now Conscious, the double steal. Now plenty of space to work with. Show him what you got. A 4-3 lead.
As soon as you get past the third man in any of the games that we kind of get to see in cast here, Bear, it's always more or less a high percentage sure thing. You get past Risen, especially, well, you're looking at Conscious with just an open opportunity. That's going to be a short lob, though. Smiles getting in the midst, and we cannot forget about Smiles for all the affluency King Dux has had over the course of so many games. Smiles has been able to have that clutch up, and what a nice find. This one's going to go off the backboard, but it finds top glass.
Yeah, even if it had a lot of momentum, that had so much velocity, I think it would have bounced off the back ball anyways. They weren't going to take any chances, sit back and do that. Now, Royal on it. MJ, space to work with. Riz was waiting for it back there and did enough to distract to allow Smiles to come and pickpocket it. And now has it held out to the right side. But the pass a little bit off the mark. Risen wasn't able to land it, but a great job to jump out in reaction in order to bop that one away. But it's right back in the hands of Rumster. He's got a chance from the right side. Quick maneuvers from right to left and found some open space for the bucket.
And they're able to get that lead from it as well. They've really been dominating above the rim like they've been doing often, but then now really spreading the love. It's a 2v1, and Conscious, he fakes out having the man on his flank, an extra option. They're extending this one by 2 as they're able to have an 8-5 differential. 40 seconds to go. Looking for either a magical 3 or a couple of 2s to get right back in the midst of it, but Metagoats have been unable to turn a possession into opportunity. Risen in a 2v1. He's got King Dux to his left, but they're gonna get absolutely body blowed by the defense of Release Ranked.
Yeah, Rumster was the one to step up exactly when it needed to happen. Reminded me of hockey as a hockey boy myself, just kind of laying down and covering the passing lane so nothing could happen, but then also converging on the target as well. Speaking of converging, there's Rumster, defense to offense, coast to coast, and now gives it a 10-5 lead with 6 seconds left. And now with that possession here, should be able to shut it down. That's the tournament. Your champions of the Metaball Summer Brawl are going to be Release Ranked.
Absolute cinema from Release Ranked. Congratulations, the Kings of the Americas region, as they come down with it, but not without a fight. And this is the only time, Bear, the only time. Look at it. Ranked. They end up taking this one by storm in a 3-1 dub.
Yeah, I can't. It speaks to what Conscience and Rumster were able to do. Their shutdown defense, the 2-member convergence was very effective, and they always had Royal for that outlet pass as well. That's where those points came from. Royal did a good job of being sneaky, kind of just maneuvering their way out to either the left or the right, whichever side was open. So that way you can create some passing lanes. Excellent work from this team from the get-go. Their strats were just a little bit stronger this time around, and that's why they're able to crown themselves champions, and it's well-earned. Congratulations. GG's in the chat for us. Chat, you've been excellent as well here throughout the
We do this all again, Bear, as you, me, Chimako, and of course our production on the other side. We had Zan Prime and Sarek that were able to help really provide this awesome showcase alongside with Glorious Esports and Bucket Play. EMEA, it's going to be happening at 1 p.m. Eastern, that is 7 p.m. CET, and you can be able to find it right here on Glorious Esports. It's going to be a fat day of awesome, just jamming and slamming, and we get to see if even more Metanium will be changing hands and for the top 3 going into it. And that's going to be 2K that went over to Release Ranked, 1K that went to the side of Metagoats, and of course, Chocolate Cookies, who put up a heck of a fight for a stellar lower final. Honestly, that was kind of my highlight match of the day. Bear, final thoughts before we throw it out.
I was glad I got to hang out with chat in the meantime and watch that series go down with 5 total overtimes, including the obviously it adds up with the 2 double overtimes is absolutely unreal in a best of 3, by the way. So that was absolutely incredible. But for all of you in chat, you have to download this game. Again, Metaball is available PC, PlayStation, Xbox, doesn't matter your platform. Not to mention, you got to get some hours in. You don't want to look like Hail Monkey Man. You don't want to let bots be able to stop your shots. That's my final thoughts here.
That is very correct. Get out there, go play, download it on every platform. It's got cross-play. That means you can play with any kind of friend, regardless of what they play on. But for tonight, I'm Hail Monkey Man. That is Barrel Light. You have been pretty darn awesome. We will see you tomorrow. We'll see you later.
Wanna feel how fast my heart would beat if you were close to me. I wanna show you, wanna let you loose inside my brain to see if you'd run or stay. I can't seem to look away. I'm hypnotized. I'm hanging on the words you say. I'm hypnotized. I can't seem to look away. I'm hypnotized.
Some days I hold my breath, some days it's all in stereo. Some days I see the shore, sometimes I don't know where to go. Hear them knocking at my door, tonight you know it's not too late. City streets are in my head, the night is calling, I can't wait. You can try me on. try me on. Some days I hold my breath, some days it's all in stereo. Where the water meets the land, tell me there's a master plan. I know you can try me on. You can try me on. You can stop and stare and see the ways and never really understand emotion.